It started out as a typical Friday night. We drove to 159th Street and 32nd Avenue. Basically, we started making out, and like 2 minutes later, the car exploded. All the windows blew out of the car because it was a Volkswagen, which is at the time they were made airtight. So as soon as the bullet hit, the windows just shattered. So I had pieces of glass all over my arms. I didn't know I was shot, but I knew something terrible had happened. I told her, start the car, let's get out of here. And as she pulled up in front of the bar, the doorman said that he goes, Carl, you don't look too good. He said, sit down. And as I sat down, my head dropped and my long hair was holding in all the blood from my head wound that I didn't know I had. 3 of my friends drove me to Flushing Hospital emergency room, where they proceeded to pick out bone fragments and glass fragments from the back of my head. And basically, next thing I remember, I was in a hospital bed with my head bandaged up, and it was probably 9:10 in the morning. When I got home, there was nothing. There was no skull. The skull was blown away. It was probably the size, a little bit bigger than a 50-cent piece. So the only thing protecting my brain from the outside world was a flap of skin. So I basically was housebound for 3 months until I had second surgery to put a plate in my head. I have limited vision on my right side below my waist. So, unfortunately, I walk into fire hydrants on a regular basis. But other than that, there's no residual effects. I was happy to be alive, and I know a lot of people died from the same gun. So, in that respect, I'm just happy to be alive. And one of my favorite sayings is, "Life's tough, get a helmet."